On the sultry afternoon of the 27th of April 1959, in a posh Bombay, now Mumbai, neighborhood, a decorated Indian naval officer entered the bedroom of his English wife's lover and shot him dead. Commander Kawas Maneckshaw Nanavati shot Prem Ahuja, a businessman, with a gun taken from his ship, and then went to the police station to confess his crime. His high-profile trial captured the public imagination. Swooning women threw lipstick-kissed currency notes at the Navy officer as he arrived each day for the trial in full-dress uniform, accompanied by a flashing naval escort. Frenzied supporters of the officer shouted "Sit down!" and "Shut up!" to prosecution witnesses. Crowds packed the surrounding streets, on occasion needing the riot police. The 27th of April 1959, Kawas Nanavati is arrested for shooting dead Prem Ahuja in Bombay. 23 September 1959, a trial court jury acquits Nanavati. Verdict declared perverse by judge and referred to the Bombay High Court. The 11th of March 1959, Bombay High Court finds Nanavati guilty of murdering Ahuja and sentences him to life in prison. Within 4 hours, the governor of Bombay state issues unprecedented order suspending the sentence until Nanavati's appeal to the Supreme Court is disposed of. 5 September 1960, the Supreme Court concludes that the governor overreached his powers and strikes down his suspension of Nanavati's sentence. 8 September 1960, Nanavati is transferred from naval custody to a civilian prison. October 1963, Nanavati gets parole on health grounds and is moved to a bungalow at a hill resort. The 16th of March 1964, Nanavati is pardoned by the governor of the new Maharashtra state, Vijayalakshmi Pandit. 1968, Nanavati and his family, wife and 3 children, emigrate to Canada. Inside the court, the prosecution argued that Mr. Ahuja had just emerged from his bath, with only a towel round his waist, when he was shot. The defense said the gun went off accidentally during a scuffle between the 2 men. But the prosecution pointedly asked how the towel could have remained securely in place when Mr. Ahuja was found dead on the floor. Outside the court, street hawkers peddled toy guns and real towels, shouting in Hindi, "Nanavati ka pistol! Bang, bang, bang! Ahuja ka toliya! Maige to binahan gayega! Nanavati's pistol! Ahuja's towel! It won't drop off even if you drop dead." The trial of India's first upper-class crime of passion, a gripping tale of love and honor, had enough twists and turns, leading to an unexpected pardon for the naval officer. It also turned out to be India's last trial by jury. For one, the defense, a collection of the city's top lawyers, portrayed the accused as a hero and the victim as a villain. They said Nanavati was a senior naval officer who was out at sea for months on end in the service of his country, leaving his wife lonely and vulnerable. They painted Mr. Ahuja as a rich businessman with no commitment to either morality or nationalism. An alleged affair with the wife of a naval officer was not only immoral but almost anti-national, the defense argued. It also helped the defense case that Nanavati was a Parsi, one of the Zoroastrians of India, a wealthy business community that had created jobs and contributed public institutions to Bombay. The community's image was one of high-mindedness, integrity and unbounded philanthropy. Mr. Ahuja, in contrast, was a Sindhi, a community of partitioned refugees, and was portrayed by the defense and the tabloid media as one interested only in making money by fair means or foul. The defense also pointed to liquor found in his house in what was then a prohibition-era Bombay and the love letters of other women, to suggest a libertine character. So the case became a heady mix of morality, patriotism and communal pride and prejudice. It was also the subject of several Bollywood films, books and even a PhD thesis. The case led the Supreme Court to take another look at the constitutional laws defining the powers of the governor. The state's governor had issued an unprecedented order suspending the guilty sentence passed by the High Court, which was later overturned by the Supreme Court. Most importantly, the case wrote the death warrant of jury trials in India. Without giving any reason, the 9-member jury had found Nanavati innocent. The judge declared the verdict perverse because, in his view, all the admissible evidence produced pointed to the officer's guilt. There were scathing editorials in the newspapers, which also reported a furore in Parliament questioning the bypassing of the judicial process to favour a man with influential friends. 4 months later, facing criticism, the government ended jury trials, or what is called lay justice. Nanavati was sent to prison in September 1960. He was granted parole on health grounds in October 1963 and allowed to live in a bungalow in the hill resort of Lonavala. This is where he was given news of his pardon in March 1964. The new state governor Vijayalakshmi Pandit pardoned Nanavati on the basis of a mercy petition and in view of the circumstances of the case. 4 years later, Nanavati and his family left Mumbai and emigrated to Canada, where he died in 2003, a venerated elder of Ontario's flourishing Zoroastrian diaspora. Sylvia remains the loving mother and a doting grandmother. Every subsequent decade has seen high-profile celebrity crimes triggered by romantic passion or prosaic greed. None did, or can, reach the mythic status of the Nanavati saga.